Hello everyone, welcome back to Hare over here. I know it's been a while. Admittedly the motivation to record has been really low, but I'm actually correcting that in today's video. So expect a few more coming out in the next week or so. But yeah, as the title suggests, today we're doing a uh, Secrets of Strixhaven in the Lorehold Prerelease Kit. Uh, I was able to pick one of these up, so let's actually try it out. Okay, I have just again like some of the general designs I have to uh, even if this is gonna be eventually thrown, I I will admit these cases are really good. Definitely if you're starting out as a new player, I'm enjoying it. So, but yeah, ooh, now that Grant, that is a very pink dice, but I like it. And the symbol. You can clearly. The dice. The camera's not really wanting to focus, but that is actually pretty well seated. Uh, 5 sets with a seated pack. But yeah, no, wait. Only 4 packs. There must be enough in here that. But, oh, nope, wait. Here's the 5th. I must have not grabbed it. Yeah, but okay, so one like with these seeded packs, like I enjoy them. I really do. Like doing pre-releases are really fun and whatnot. But the one thing is that like oh wait, is that sometimes the pre-release card isn't always matching, and on top of it, I just noticed this. It like the pre like they used to have like pre-release the actual pre-release printed, then they started doing other things. I don't have any of the wait, yeah, I have yeah, they used to have I have a bunch of like unopened like pre-release sealed packs here, and none and they all at least have a stamp on them. It's like, oh, this is the pre-release card. It's like, okay, oh, fun, great. Unless this is not meant to be the pre-release like card, it. Hmm, I like. I'm just curious now if this is actually the pre-release card. Yeah, I think it's meant to be. I'm. It may. Whoa. Sorry, I. Uh, sorry, it's just something about the like, just the general cut of this card. Like the bottom part of it seems extremely large, but the top, the cut seems a bit weird. I like that Charms are back. I never really did a fall release on the like I with a lot of the pre-releases it's I haven't done a full cognitive thing with them all, but like I haven't done a full thing with any of them, but okay. And okay, so nice that there's at least tokens and whatnot. And I like the fact that I think they did it with one of the previous sets, that there's at least the like common lands that have repeatable surveil. For drafts, to make it great, and yeah, nothing about this screams pre-release promo card. But for 3 mana, -2/-2, Languish, if you remember that from, oh god, granted this is nearly 10 years ago, 4 mana, -4/-4, but it's like, Infusion, if you gain life, everything gain is destroyed. Uh, it's an almost a very good card in my mind, but when Arc of Hunger, that's actually a pretty cool card. Whenever a card leaves the graveyard, drain your opponent for hit each opponent for 1, and you gain a life, and mill a card you may play that card this turn. So like it feels itself uh, something might actively want to use that. So that is pretty cool in my mind at least. So pretty cool. Okay. Uh, Scalding Administrator. Menace. Whenever you repertoire, whenever you cast an instant sorcery that targets a creature, put a +1/+1 on this creature. When this creature dies, if it had counters on it, put those counters on up to 1. That is actually pretty cool. And admittedly, the odd heroic mechanic, I love that they are like occasionally just like taking and revising it. For those who are unfamiliar with the odd repertoire mechanic, heroic mechanic, it basically is it says if the if the creature was targeted, get X effect. So it's like I love that they are revisiting some of the old heroics stuff. Ooh, now that. Oh no. Okay. Encouraging Aviator. Fly. 3 mana, 2/3 with flying, and whenever it attacks, it becomes prepared, and it has jump attached. So that is actually pretty cool in my head. Um, Personally, I think it's an absolutely great thing. Granted, I in part love the whole. I was unsure of how I originally was feeling about this, but as a draft things, it definitely has its place. In competitive, standard, I could see it. Modern, depending on the card, it could definitely be it. Anything, definitely all the ones that have uh, like this honor. I'm only using this guy as an example, but the oh gosh, focus. This guy. It's when this card enters the battlefield. When this card enters prepared. It's like, oh, that's great. So many people have said this already, but uh, blinking is absolutely great in my mind. So, Opus. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast that spell. This creature deals 3 damage to each opponent instead. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Uh, okay. The rare of the pack is Scheming Silver Tongue. I really should get my glasses. Flying down Hey Flink when this card at the beginning of your second main phase, if you gain 2 or more life this turn, this card becomes prepared. Sign in Blood. Okay. A 2 mana 1/3 with flying and lifelink, and with a Sign in Blood attached. That with the some of these like bonus sheet cards are actually pretty cool. And got another guy, but I'm gonna be right back with my actual glasses so I can actually read some of these. And I'm back with the next pack. Probably should have maybe pre-opened it as, but yeah, actually wearing my glasses because sometimes reading small stuff is not fun. Okay, sometimes it's like life gain, yeah, repeatable, like when a card enter, like a Soul Sister is nice, but it's like personally, whenever a card simply says when this card enters, gain life, it's like, oh, so unless I have blink, its use is somewhat diminished. But I love the whole whenever this card attacks, gain 2 life. I'm enjoying it. Uh, just looking over the. Okay, embrace the paradox. Another draw, draw. Simic card that says draw so many cards, put a card into, and that's pretty cool. Okay, middle card put. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this guy. Uh, Whenever one of our cards leaves your battlefield, uh, Corral becomes prepared. Pack a punch. Middle card put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains trample. I mean, it's cool. It's a 2 mana 2/3 with an okay spell attached, but with the Mika, Reader of Ruins, Ward, pay 3 life. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, copy that spell. Okay, so it fits into the Lorehold repertoire of stuff. And Mind into Matter. X green and a blue, draw X cards. You may put a permanent with mana value X or less. Okay, that uh I like we'll embrace the evolution is like the growth spiral, Orban evolution, like effects that all basically say draw draw X cards, put a land into play. Mind into mana just says like, oh yeah, replace that uh replace the uh that last value, the like, oh, place bracketed generic mana in with a literal X cost, and instead of allowing you to put a land into play, put a any permanent as long as it costs X or less. I like that. I really do. It's an evolution of the draw a card, put a land into play. The with Spell Pierce, a generically good card. Um, in a nice framing aspect. Okay, this is the third field of strife that I've gotten clear. Uh, Nick, in part, Nick, in terms of commons, I have a few red and white cards in here, but what I'm cracking would not exactly give me a whole lot to walk with, but like potentially splash. But with everything that I got here, I could maybe splash into a thought color. But considering all my fixing has been in literal boss colors, it makes that whole thing a little bit more difficult. But like, I got another like dual like Orzhov thing. That's actually pretty cool. A white and a black, and any of my whenever one of my things becomes whenever I cast an instant sorcery that targets one of my stuff, the Inkling mascot gains flying, and I get to surveil one. That is a pretty cool effect. Um, okay, and clearly the Orzhov colors the is the whole where Theros had the original Theros block had the bar had the heroic mechanics. It's now Orzhov that has the heroic mechanic. That is pretty cool overall. Um, so I'm going through this, and a small error has appeared on the text. Uh, 2 mana, one in a white for double strike, and when it becomes paired, I get 2 forward intent. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains double strike. Okay, that's pretty cool. The veil for the set is Scheming Silver Tongue. Oh, oh, this is the single one that I got. uh, in the so God, I probably would be going into black. God, because of this. Like, hold on. But yeah, based on everything that I'm seeing, I'm probably touching at least black in some of the in part of it. Sorry, my computer just my headset decided to just shut off there. Um, Cool Island, the stock up, pretty cool. Whales are becoming a more and more of a thing. I didn't actually read this guy, and not designed to focus. Flying opus whenever cast an instant sorcery. This creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. If five is if if 5 or more mana was spent on this card to cast that card, put 3/+1 counters. Okay, that's pretty cool. Next pack so far, But yeah, looking at what I've gotten so far, yeah, I haven't went through everything. What the fudge is going on here? Okay, sorry, my computer's deciding to do a lot of this right now. Um, 4 mana for a 3/3 that comes with a 1 an inkling. That is pretty cool. Uh, I am as a this is a strictly raw shark in almost every way. 2 mana to deal 2 damage to any target, and oh, upside of flashback for 5 mana to deal 2 damage. No, uh, and then this enchantment. Whenever this enchantment enters, create a 2/2 red white spirit token. When this creature, uh, whenever you attack, if a card left your graveyard this turn, target creature. Okay, living history. With how much white is getting back, is getting um small reanimator effects. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Speaking of reanimator effects, primary research. When this creature enters, return a target non-land permanent uh, with mana. Oh no, yeah, non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield at the beginning of your end step. If this, if a card left your graveyard this turn, draw a card. It activates itself. That is pretty cool. The Veil. Yeah, like I have maintained for the last 2 years during this whole thing that all of this like return, all the white returning effects, I'm all for. It, personally, I think it's a very cool thing that they're doing. The Veil is traumatic critique. Uh, X blue, no, uh, blue and a red traumatic critique deals X damage to any target. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. That almost in almost every time that I see X in a cost, mana cost, and in a uh, and in like in modern card design, every time I see X in its mana cost and in the like actual text of the card, it's like okay, X is gonna show up multiple times, like because you would almost I almost expected uh traumatic critique deals X damage to any target, draw X cards, then discard a card. So it's like at 3 mana, deal 1 damage, draw 1 card, discard a card. So it encourages pumping as much mana as you can into, but the draw 2 cards then. And I, th- I think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a mythic. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like, oh, come on. Um, the bonus sheet Resurrection Ray, a spree for destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, put a +1/+1 counter on target on each creature target player controls. I don't think I played enough of Thunder Junction to actually ever see Reclamation Aid. That is pretty cool, and I might want to actually put that in a few commander decks. Um, the Veil, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is another Veil. Uh, Bletch lo, uh, Loafing Pest. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each pest, bat, insect, snake, and spider you control. And admittedly, um, over the last few years, with granted, this is more of a Strixhaven Gogoi thing more than anything, but like we're oh yeah, life gain is a white thing, is definitively a white thing, but is also somewhat a green thing and a black thing. I love that it's like, oh yeah, we'll have a bunch of Gogoi things that just love gaining life, do things gaining life off that. Um, but yeah, okay. Now going through this pack on the fifth and final pack is I didn't realize this was actually becoming a thing again. Converge. So this is a 5 mana 2/2. Okay, it's already bad, but trample and reach. Okay. But it's colorless, meaning you can put it into any deck. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color uh, of mana spent to cast it. So already in a two-color deck, it's coming in as a 4/4 with trample and reach. It's like, but this could be something big, and I love seeing Cavorge actually come back. I think um it was done in the battle for Zendikar uh block, and it's like, oh, it's a great mechanic, but and it's like, oh yeah, it's clearly meant for the ally side of the conflict, not the Eldrazi. But it's like you introduced it in the Eldrazi adjacent set, a set that likes having colorless creatures. So it's like, granted, the Battle for Zendikar introduced Devoid, colored Devoid Eldrazi. So it's like, yeah, they have a color identity, but they're still colorless. So it's like, uh, charms, which I enjoy. Uh, um, oh, okay. I was looking at this Starring Stone Glider, and I was like, 3 mana and Flying Vigilance is like, why does it have an additional cost? Then I actually saw its actual thing. So it's like, oh, if you can get a number of things into the graveyard, spending 3 mana on a 4/3 Flying Vigilance thing, I don't actually mind. Even if I had to spend 5 mana on it. The Veil is Dreamroot Cascade. Um, when this land enters tapped unless you control two or more other, it's like, so it's a slow land. I'm enjoying it. Never, nothing ever wrong with that. The veil is not the veil. The showcase is a braid. Uh, another a harder version of the scolding administrative. Yeah, with how the like with how everything is going, because of the pre-release, because of the seeded pack, I'm definitively in. Uh, I most likely am gonna have to go boss as a base, but I'm probably going to attempt to bring in a little bit of black act if I actually if I actually played in the pre-release. But yeah, I'll catch you all around, folks. See you around.